is Judith DiMaio. Among the many things that Colin adored was Paris porcelain, circa 1810. He seems to like Russian, I didn't know that. He particularly admired the teacups and the dessert plates. He even had a fantasy that he would be very happy with a crypt in which the walls were embedded with Paris porcelain plates. In Colin's collection, there is such a plate. Its colors are exquisite, and a magnificent gilt eagle is at its center. I have admired this plate ever since I met Colin. No cajoling and no charm would convince him to relinquish this treasure because it had been a gift to him from his beloved friend Jim Sterling. In April 1999, as I was leaving Colin's apartment, he extended his hand with this precious object balanced in it. I was stunned and asked, "Why are you giving this to me?" He said, "Take it, for the chariot of death is drawing near." I thrust my hands behind my back and actually thought that my refusal would halt the approaching chariot. 1 month later, Colin had his debilitating stroke. He rallied through the summer, but in September he began to fail. Shortly before he died, he found the strength to say he wanted to get better. I was hopeful, because in spite of the odds, he had an indomitable will, the constitution of a bull, and an ability to focus that was Herculean when he set his mind to it. But this time, he could not outwit the odds. In 1992, at Jim Sterling's memorial at the Guggenheim, Colin expressed his impatience with the whole sentiment of grief, which he felt is nearly always a self-indulgent emotion. Knowing this and an attempt to deal with my grief, I find myself playing a game that Colin would quite like. While Colin speculated with delight on what he called accidents of history, such as, what if Queen Victoria were born Prince Victor? I speculate on Colin's whereabouts. To begin with, he surely must be in heaven, and I am sure he has enlisted the aid of all the seraphim and cherubim and God himself to rearrange whatever heavenly furniture there may be, even the firmament itself. Why Michelangelo had his chance in life, why not Colin in death? From now on, any rumblings in the form of thunder or turbulence from on high, I can only imagine will be Colin expressing his deep dismay at everyone's ability to arrange things just as he likes. Alternatively, I suspect that Colin is at Caprarola. He is standing across the bridge that leads into the woods, looking back at the palace's garden facades that he truly loved for their quadratura and shallow surfaces. He will then wander through the woods and into the clearing to find the spellbinding Giardino Segreto. He will linger briefly on the gently sloping Cordonata, which leads to the casino above. He will not linger for too long in the upper garden, because the intensity of the architecture begins to subside and nature asserts its rights, her rights. It is in the middle garden where he will be, for Colin was forever taken by its infinite charm and by the whispering herms that stand guard against the outer world. From now on, I will never know for sure if it is the garden itself or Colin's presence there that casts the spell. I also know that Colin has quite simply gone into our hearts and resides there happily, or lurks there as the case may be. And then, even more personally, I can only repeat to myself a line of William Corey's poem, Heraclitus. For death he taketh all away, but them he cannot take.